after breakups, I do this thing where I do like a substantial glow up. Do you guys do that? Where you like all of a sudden become a different person? Where you're like, now I'm a person who air fries. You do that? And now I make sweet potatoes in the air fryer with like some oregano. Are you funny nerd if you do that? Some chicken breasts and salmon. Yeah, you have a voice of an air fryer lover. I don't drink wine. I'm sober now because I have the Lord in my life. But no, I don't have the Lord in my life. I have no Lord. My Lord is being skinny, and wine does not let me do that. Remember the Timothy Ferris diet? You guys remember that? Where you like eat like egg whites and broccoli for a week, and then you get one cheat day. But on the cheat day, I would drink 2 full bottles of red wine and 1 full tub of peanut butter. And I remember my friends being like, why are you losing weight? And I was like, because a cheat day, they don't know. No, nobody says, don't do this. Don't do this. You know what I mean? Like, they don't know who I am and what I'm capable of. Cheat day is correct, dude. I would go with just scones, just stuffing scones. Isn't that weird? Like, I'm in some weird punishment game with myself. I know that they just mean 1 piece of pizza, but I was like, no, this is a cheat day. Okay, you were in a 3-year relationship with him. Was he short?
He was my height.
He was your height. Did he have a big hog?
No.
Not a big hog, okay. Was he alpha or beta?
Beta as well.
Okay, so can we just be real here? You were dating a beta for 3 years and you didn't want to be with him and you broke up. That's not avoidant. You're just a person who was done getting bad dick, dude. That's so reasonable. That's not avoidant. I knew we would dispel this. And avoidant is like, no, this is what avoidant sounds like. No, dude, he was like really tall, his dick was huge, I loved him. It's just like he asked me to go to Australia, and I was like, I'm just naming my exact scenario. He just asked me to go to Australia, and I freaked out, and just like, I had to end it in order to feel free. That's an avoidant. You literally just got tired of having a skinny cock. Okay, great. Do you guys, the women in here, do you guys remember trying to be bulimic? Remember, you'd eat everything. You'd be like, don't worry about it, I'm gonna vomit later. And then you'd be in there and you'd be like, come on! I never was able to do it. Were you guys able to barf? I couldn't barf. Sometimes just a little tiny bit of bile would come up and I'd be like, bro, that better be 3 bagels next. But that ain't gonna be enough. Did you do that? You're resonating too much, I think. That shit sucked, dude. You'd be like, but that was supposed to be a lot of spaghetti. Because you imagined it would like fully like, you know what I mean, and everything, but it was not like that. You'd be like, cool. Cool. How long have you been together?
27.
27 years. Are your parents married?
One is dead.
Is it your dad that is dead? That's just what I assume.
No.
It's your mom. It's the one that we care about. That sucks. Damn, I'm sorry. You're stuck with the dad, and now you guys just have to walk around each other and be like, yeah, I know, it sucks. Man, what are you doing today? I bought a mug. That's what you have to do. You had to do like therapy and stuff about it? Do you have problems?
Yeah.
You're in therapy? She's not. Erin is like, yeah, well, there's a few holes in the wall for sure. What, are you always worried that Erin's gonna leave?
Yeah.
Okay, you have, huh? Abandonment issues, yes, same. Okay, so you're a little clingy? Are you a little bit clingy? And then Erin is nodding hard, emphatic nod from Erin. You have an emphatic nod from Erin. What about sex stuff? You dick her down good? Is it makey lovey, or is there sometimes fucky hard? It's mostly makey lovey, mostly eye contact. You doing too much eye contact? 50-50, sometimes no. I just found out that a lot of men do this thing where they don't think about the woman that they're fucking. I just found this out. My guy friends were like, dude, I'm always thinking about a different woman. Did you know that? And now I fucking hold their eyeballs open. I hold her and I go, I'm Jordan. My name is Jordan Jensen. Are you like not very sexual anymore, or are you still pretty sexual? You love the D, you love to get dicked down. Alright, you're a dirty little dog. Okay. You love the D. You love his D. Okay, not just the proverbial D. You love your husband's D. Let's just throw him a bone occasionally. You know what I mean? Like right now, instead of saying I love D, let's say his D, okay? Because maybe he would be a little bit less anxiously attached if you threw him a bone, okay? And I get that he's a little bit clingy, but his mother was a crack addict, okay? So maybe instead of a room full of 200 people saying the D, say his D. Help him. Anyway, now you're back, buddy.
Hi.
Welcome to the studio.
Thanks for having me. I know I fully was, have you released episodes in the studio yet?
Just one.
Oh, damn, right on. Because I'd always seen the couch and
Yeah. And people started getting upset.
Really? Because the couch is a fun, like, intimate, like.
No, they weren't upset about that. I don't know what I'm doing. The audio is always wrong. Keegan Tyndall had to come back 4 times to get it right.
Hilarious.
Because one camera would be off, one mic would be off.
This is when you were in your apartment?
Yeah.
This is what made you switch? Dude,
Well,
I mean, I feel you because me and Kenya's podcast, I'm like, the learning curve of like audio that comes out just like crunchy and loud and like a deep fried meme is like bad.
Yeah. And then Matt at Gotham Studios was like, come here. And I was like, absolutely. I don't know what I've done to deserve this. But yeah, it's really, this room is adorable and I love it.
That's
We're going to get a big backdrop.
Is it your room or it's like your stuff you have to be able to kind of put up, take down?
Other people come into it.
Boo.
Someday it'll be just my room though.
That's
But
so
you
sick.
the podcast has to make money before that happens, which right now it is not. But it will. I've just made a Patreon. Patreons are so weird because you're just making the secret, you're showing your secret life and be like, you can give me money to see the weird shit that I do, which is so.
Yeah, my friends and I were joking too that it's like such a it's the most like glazed over eyes dumb get rich quick scheme. Is like maybe people like me and they'll just give me money.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll
totally.
just make a website where they give me money because they like me and then I'll make $100,000 a month. But it's like, yeah, some people do that.
Yeah, people do that.
Some people are good enough hang that they make $100,000
But sometimes the
a month.
Patreon is good. Sometimes there are places where it's
Yeah.
like the Patreon episode, like with B and E, and some of our Patreon episodes are like that's where we like say real secrets.
Yeah.
And with this one,
we do that on ours too, where it's like you're like, oh, there's shit that I won't like. I want a filter here of people who hear this are people who I know like us and are gonna hear it in good faith and blah blah blah.
But you got mad. You're all fucked up about internet things getting out there, right?
I'm more just like, I don't know. I'm like conflict averse, so I'm just like, I'm like careful to, yeah, I'm maybe like not as fast and loose with like, I don't know.
You'll go in on men though. You'll go in on men. You'll go in on like, you won't do it. You won't like fuck her. Like if anything's not woke, you'll be like, pull it.
Maybe unless I like believe it.
Yeah.
It's more, you know what it is? It's more, it's like there's some things where I'm like, I believe this, but do I want to like publicly die on this cross? Like it's not a fight I want to pick with people. Like we posted a pic about polyamory where I thought this was like a pretty benign take. I was like, I think most people who are doing polyamory are lying to themselves.
That's what that clip I saw, and I was like, oh, Maddie's gotten over the hump of the being afraid.
Well, because I was like, I believe this, you know what I mean? And I'll defend it and I'll talk to someone about it. But it was like, people got really upset about it. And I got like messages but I was like, one, I'm not even saying that I don't think there are polyamorous people. I'm just saying a lot of people do it under false pretenses.
That's how I feel about trans people.
Disagree on that one. But you know, here's the thing though, is like, I also get equally scared of saying that, of being like, I also, you know what I mean? I just got to get over being a conflict averse person in general.
You have to get that if you're conflict averse, then the second you are, they will come for you.
Yeah. It's almost like you want to start doing it now so that people don't, because then the longer you wait, the harder it gets. But that's what I like about stand-up is I don't have to be conflict averse on stage. You can be like, shut the fuck up, you're an asshole, you're ugly, whatever. It's like the one space where you can, but this feels more like just, like this is a more in-between like public persona versus like actual Maddie. You know what I mean? So it's like,
I think of stand-up Jordan and podcast Jordan as the same.
I think ideally I would like to be that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keegan feels the same way. I think it's your generation.
Maybe.
Our millennials are like, dude, my sister going on here and being like, my ex-husband fucked a bunch of crazy hookers. I was like, are you sure about this? And she was like, fuck him. But like, she's Gen X.
Yeah.
What is she? She's X. She's above
Ex
us.
millennial Z.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we're like, I don't care. And then Keegan's the same way. He was like, I don't know about. It's like, I think you guys have been trained to base it that what you say is like, is written in blood.
Yeah, a
Which-
little bit. Which
boy,
is
howdy.
like, in some ways, I think a healthy understanding of the internet, and in some ways, it's fucked up when it starts to change the way that you think privately on your own. Like, I had to delete Twitter and TikTok because they were just like melting my brain. And like Twitter especially, it's like anything you think in your brain, it starts to be like, you just imagine someone being like quote retweeting it and being like, yikes. So you're like policing your thoughts before they even, like, your brain is, it feels like every thought you have is being had on a world stage. So you don't even have these like private moments to think by yourself. And I was like, I can't be on an app that like makes me think like that. Do you know what I mean?
I don't think like that. I mean, I'll throw horrendous tweets out and I'm like, this is going to the very few people that follow me on Twitter or like on Instagram. It's like, I don't know what it is, but I understand why I should think that way. You know what it is? I don't care. It is because I mean, sure, there's like, you know, I don't want people to know where I live. I don't want people to know. I don't want to bring other people into it. I don't want to tell people who my ex-boyfriends are or who's annoying me right now. But like with me, it's like I do not care if somebody's like, she's a bitch. Everybody thinks I'm a bitch. You know what I mean? Like I don't, so long as my crew.
yes, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. People say that. But you know what I mean? Like it doesn't bother me that other people would be. Yeah. And
I think what it is partially for me too is that I don't mind stage persona. I think is much more for me like abrasive and confrontational. I think me on podcasts is still pretty much a stage persona because I'm very much like, I have my private life and my me, Maddie, and then I have like this fun thing that I'm like, I'm not like I'm lying, but you know what I mean? I'm like, this is still somewhat of a performance, like we're on, but I think people see it and are like, that's the real person and I know her. And so I'm just like, I don't know. I like being like,
why do you
work...
care what people in Ohio who are sitting watching home thinking watching you? You know what I mean? This is how the no free will thing comes in.
Okay, that's interesting. I think it's because I'm happy putting like work out there and people can respond to that. But I do feel like the second that you're like, it's not about my work, it's about me as like a personality, then I get a little like, I just get weirded out by the idea of like celebrity and parasocial relationships. Not that I'm anywhere approaching
They're
a celebrity,
so
but we're like public figures in some way. You know what I mean? I'm just like, I look at someone like Anthony Jeselnik or Bo Burnham, and I feel like they've done a really good job of like, people really fuck with their work, but they actually don't know that much about them as a person. And I think that's kind of cool.
But Bo Burnham on podcast says crazy shit. Like he's gone on podcasts and been like totally dismantled his like the ideas around putting work out there and all that stuff. Like he's been like, this is stupid, this is dumb, this is bad. Like he has strong convictions, which are rules. I love him. But yeah, I think
he rocks. You know what? I'll say that's another thing too. Sorry, I keep cutting you off because I'm like figuring this out as I'm saying it. But I think part of it is also I'm like, I'm 25 and some of the things I'm like, I don't take a big swing because I'm like, I don't exactly know how I feel about this. But like the polyamory thing, I was like, oh, if I have a strong conviction about something,
the polyamory thing
it.
was that you think
is that I think that a lot of people think they're doing it, but they're actually just like, I don't want to break up, so I'll tolerate this letting my partner sleep with other people and I don't enjoy it. I think there are a small number of people that are actually doing polyamory and like that's beautiful, but I think a lot of people are lying to themselves.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying when I have a strong conviction like that, I'll say it. But I guess that's more what it is if I'm going to say it online in public, I want to make sure it's like a pretty strong conviction first.
I think that's good. I think it's just different. Like when I posted the clip where I was like, where this person was like, my boyfriend was a man and then he became a woman and then he became a lesbian. I was like, isn't that going from the top of society to the bottom? Like, isn't that just like a man being like, now I'm lower tier, now I'm even lower tier? And I was like, isn't that kind of like, wait, is that like blackface? And it got dragged on the internet. But you can see on stage, I'm like, is it kind of like that? And people are like, no. And I'm like, oh, no, it's not like that. You know what I mean? Like, I think that like not saying that because people are like, that causes pain for other people because you're basically saying it's still a man who became a lesbian. So it's like there's two veins. It's like one person could be like, don't post that because it causes pain. And for me, I'm like, it's very important to me to post that because it's showing the thought process of trying to work it out. You know what I mean? Like that's that whole part of that, like that, my whole stand up, I want it to be like somebody trying to work out being alive and dealing with everything.
Yeah,
Like,
I get that.
You know what I mean? Where
Yeah.
it's like, where it's very much ADHD. Like, is it like this? No, it's not like that. I'm stupid. You're dumb. Is it, do I want to fuck my dad? He's dead. What are we doing? You know, like, I want it to be very like in progress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the thing where I'm doing is like some of my like in progress, I'm like, I don't know. It's a really fine line to walk because I'm like, that is some of my favorite stand up is stuff that has been like a bad thought that like is looked at plainly and confronted and dissected. I think a lot of people though are just like, here's a bad thought. And just by saying I've had a bad thought, I've done the work and I can wipe my hands clean, where I'm like, oh, that's only like, I think it's only like a productive thing if you look at the bad thought and then do something with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I kind of
Yes,
get mad at
yes.
this like sort of right-wing-ish ethos of like, as long as I've admitted I had the bad thought, then my work is done. And I'm like, no, but you have to admit, like, yes, you're not your thoughts and you have to admit the bad thought, but then you have to be like, so why do I think this? Dissect it, do something with it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I think that's where a
totally.
lot of people like look at Louis and they're like, I'm doing that by being, but I'm like, but he took it to another, it's the then analyzing it and coming to a different conclusion and changing that is the like interesting work of it. So if I feel like I'm not in a place to do that, then I'm like, let me sit on this a
Totally.
little longer.
That's good.
But I don't know, but it's like a fine line to walk. So like,
I think that's good.
yeah.
We have to not talk about comedy because people hate it. But
Oh shit, really?
I think people hate when people talk about comedy.
Really? I feel
heard
like your
that.
fans are so like,
I don't know. We'll see in the comments. But you have. But I asked you about that because you do have OCD, right?
I do have OCD.
and I have OCD.
Yeah.
Do you have pure OCD or do you have? Did we decide you had pure OCD?
I
Pure
think
obsession.
yeah, pretty, because that's why I didn't know for so long is because I'm not like, I mean, sometimes I'll check a door and a blah, 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 but I wasn't like flipping light switches. It's pretty much all mental. So I thought it was just anxiety or like, oh my God, I'm schizophrenic.
Really?
You know what I
'Cause
mean?
you were-
Like I didn't know OCD could look like that. So until maybe 2 years ago, I didn't know I had OCD.
Because yours was like up all night. Somebody's mad at me. They're mad at me because I said this. That was fucked up that I said that. I shouldn't have said that. I should apologize. But
Kind of, like most classic example would be like, I have this clear memory of being a kid and being like, I should put my toothpaste on this side of the toothbrush because, well, like if I don't, the intrusive thought of if I don't do that, if I don't do that, I don't love my mom. And
Yeah.
it's like, well, obviously I don't think that's true. That's crazy. But why not do it on the off chance that it
Right,
could be?
that's
Now that I've had the
normal.
thought, I can't not.
that's
Yeah.
OCD.
Yeah.
But
like-
now it manifests as thoughts.
Like it's like doubt stuff. Like, okay, like really extreme example is like being on the train and being like, did I just blurt out something offensive and then immediately forget it?
Oh yeah.
And being like, well, I can't disprove that. And so the impulse to be like, did I just say something weird? Did I just like the impulse to want to check because you're like, technically I can't know that I didn't just like punch somebody in the face and then forget it. And now that I'm thinking about it, it's easy to convince myself that I did it.
oh yeah. So
It's
you
or
have
like-
OCD.
Yeah.
Pure
But
obsession is when
I thought
there's
that was just
no
like crazy.
no rituals to help. So
Yeah, all the rituals are mental. All the rituals are like trying to remember or ask
Yeah,
someone
that's
or like,
OCD.
yeah.
pure
Is that what you have too? Pure OCD?
No. Pure obsession, I think from what I know is like is racing thoughts telling you that you're bad, but there's no outlet. There's no
Yes.
thing you could do to fix it.
Uh-huh.
But yours is the thing I would have to do to fix it is embarrassing, or I have to just run it through my head a bunch of times. Like
But there's kind of nothing to do to fix it because it's like, even if I ask someone, I could be like, they're lying to me. There's
Right.
kind of nothing to do to fix it. Usually it would just, pre-medication would just like bubble up into a panic attack of like, my life's over. I don't know what's real.
Did they say it was pure, or did they say it was obsessive compulsive disorder?
They didn't specify, but I was pretty sure I had it. And then I went to a psychiatrist and she was like, yeah, I think you have OCD.
Think? She said.
Well,
You
she
think?
said, no, she like diagnosed me with OCD.
Jesus
She was like,
Christ.
yeah.
I mean, that's the most textbook. Let me look up pure obsession.
But I've watched a lot of like I know you like can't self-diagnose and blah blah blah, but like I definitely have pure obsessional because I don't have like physical stuff.
Type of obsession that involves intrusive thoughts and internal compulsions. Oh, okay. Internal compulsions.
Yeah, that sounds like me.
Okay, cool.
But intrusive thoughts, when you don't know what intrusive thoughts are, you're just like, I guess this is the kind of person I am.
Oh,
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We were like, I guess I really think that. Or I
I
guess
was
I really
diagnosed so young. Mine was
Really?
so obvious. Yeah, it was like we thought I was allergic to pink soap because my mom was like, we go into the doctor and she'd be like, she's allergic to pink soap, and they'd be like, that doesn't make any sense what you're saying. She'd be like, I
color?
don't know, because her hands are always really fucked up and there's pink soap at her school, and it was because I was washing my hands obsessively.
Whoa. Wait, so what was the hand washing? Was it just a literal like I have to get rid of germs so I don't die?
No. I can't remember what that one was because I was really little, but it was always people were contaminating.
Interesting. Wait, how physically contaminating or like how so?
The fucked up part is that how it manifested mostly in my life was if a boy liked me,
Mm-hmm.
I thought that the only reason he liked me was because somebody else's essence was on me. So like
Wow.
for example, a perfect example is when you had that perfume and I
Uh-huh.
took it, there was a part of me that almost said no because I was like, but then we'll just have the same smell and people will only like me because they smell Maddie. That in my head. And that's why I took it and I did it because I was like, I do want to wear it and that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So it's like, so what happened was it was like, for example, my high school boyfriend, you know, we went to middle school, high school, all of us together, right? My high school boyfriend at some point in his life had a crush on my best friend, Brianna. And that's like everybody had a crush on Brianna. She was the hottest girl ever. But when me and him were dating, my OCD was like, you know why he's dating you? Because back in middle school, he had a crush on her and you hang out with her so much he's just experiencing her essence on you.
Wait, this is really interesting because I feel like I have a similar there's like a similar mechanism to it where I almost feel like OCD is like we have overactive brains. And so what for normal people would be just a normal emotion or insecurity of like, oh, I hope he doesn't like her more than me. We turn it into this big building. Her essence is on me. Like it takes it to like a fucking 110. But the core of it is like just a simple emotion that most people would experience as that simple emotion. That's my like thesis about it.
Totally.
Because I also have ADHD, and when I treated the ADHD, it made my OCD better. And my fucking theory, which I can't really find a lot online about this, but it sounds right to me, is that like the same way with ADHD, it's like, oh, doing the laundry is boring, but I'd love to paint my room right now. You can't do like the simple boring thing. You have to do like a big project. It's almost like, oh, I'm a little insecure because what if my friend was prettier is too boring. But if she's like contaminating me in the essence, it's almost like, it's like your brain just is seeking this big, like it has to make it a bigger problem in order for you to be able to like feel it kind of. I don't know. That's what it feels like to me. So like I have, I think, a different core, like the emotions that do that to me are different emotions, but it feels like a similar mechanism.
Basically there's like a basal ganglia in your brain there that opens when you're afraid. And it tells you, like, if you see a shark in the water, the basal ganglia opens and it floods cortisol or whatever. And then you go, fuck, that's not a shark. That's a fucking kid wearing a hat, you know, in the water. And then the basal ganglia shuts because it goes, people with OCD, it's just open. It's just open. And I think serotonin reuptake inhibitors allow that to close easier.
Interesting.
And I also think that the quelling that happens after ritualizing or after you do a certain amount of head games with yourself, like allows it to close because so I think the pickup of the fear is like kinetically. Also, like if I didn't spray your perfume on me, that would mean tomorrow, if you asked me, it would also be a no. And then the next day it would be like, don't actually spray it near me. Like you have to be on top of it because the more you do it, the more it trains you to keep doing it. Like there's one obsessive compulsive thing I can't stop, which is I can stop, but I choose not to stop, which is at night. And it sounds like every time I tell people this, they're like, oh, that's great. Like, that's really healthy. And I'm like, it's a nightmare. I have to drink like the biggest mason jar size of water every night, which is hard you're like choking yourself to get it down. I have to do it every night or I'm worried that I'll die in my sleep, and then if something good happens, it will only be because I'm dead, and it's not really good. Like saying,
oh my God.
Yeah.
Dude, I also have a thing where it and it's better now that I'm on medication, but like years ago, like where it becomes like this like questioning the fabric of reality thing where like the most insane one I've ever had where even I laughed at it and was like, Maddie, that's fucking crazy. Like you sound crazy. This has to be a line.
Yeah.
Is I was like, what if we're in like a Matrix type goo simulate, like this is the simulation
Goo.
and I'm actually in a fucking goo vat somewhere else? And what if in the goo vat I'm doing something bad? I have to like kill myself here to go back to that other
Bro,
reality.
never do
to
acid.
like double check. Oh yeah, I did mushrooms one time and I had 6 months of my life where I was like, I almost was like, I need to go to like a mental institution or
What
something.
happened?
It was just like shit where like I couldn't. Okay. Oh, dude, this is when I was like, this is a problem. Is it would be like literally this extreme. I'm drinking this water.
Yeah.
I look over here. I look back. Somebody could have poisoned the water or put acid in it or put drugs in it that'll make me go crazy and ruin the rest of my life. So I'd be like, I know it's unlikely, but I can't technically prove that didn't happen in the 2 seconds I turned away. So I have to throw the water out. I can't drink it. And if I drink it, I'll have a panic attack and convince myself that I'm not like this anymore. But those kinds of thoughts, I was like, oh yeah, I am like sober from now on. I don't have a brain that needs more connections.
You
and
don't
to see
drink?
more. I can have a drink. Like I'm not like hardcore sober that way, but like I don't smoke weed. I don't really drink, honestly.
Weed is the most dangerous.
Yeah, it's like literally
But after
fucking
you did
why.
mushrooms, it got way worse.
Yeah. And maybe that was because of other life stuff too. I don't know. But I was like, oh, I'll never touch psychedelics again.
And mine gets worse is when I'm destabilized. So like,
Same. Yeah.
So like if somebody, for instance, this relationship where the person breaks up with me, after that happens, I'll be like in bed and I'll be like, I was like, what if I just like jumped out the window right now? What if I just jumped out and my knees broke through my skin? I might just do it. I think I'm going to do it. I'm not going to do it, but what if I did it? And then I'm like having a panic attack. And it's always right after something destabilizing happens because it's your brain is going, remember how you told yourself that you're somebody to be trusted? You're not, because your whole life is different now.
I was just about to say, yeah, it's like a trust thing.
It is a trust thing.
That's in some ways. I'm like, I
Of course
wonder.
you found no free will because of that. Of course we both found no free will. But say what you're going to say.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, I was talking to Lynn Koplitz about religion the other night. We had like a really long conversation. I'd never really talked to her, and I was like, she's so fucking cool. But she was talking about like, we were talking about like faith and like trust in God, and I'm like pretty much atheist, whatever. Like, I'm pretty much like, this is what's real. But I was like, oh, I wonder if I had something like that, it would quell that.
Makes it worse.
Really? Because in my mind though, I'm like, if I had like a faith, if you get too dogmatic with it, I could see how it would make it worse. But I technically can't prove that in those 2 seconds someone didn't poison the water. But if I had like a baseline faith in God, you could also paraphrase that as just being like a general trust in the goodness of the world.
But everybody who has religion in their life who also has OCD, which is a huge amount, are, if I don't do this, God will punish me. If I don't do this, I'm going to hell. If I don't do that, hell is a perfect OCD punishment.
Yeah.
My friends who grew up religious are the most OCD people.
Interesting. Actually, yeah, I do have friends who, because especially if you're like Catholic or something, like the rituals and the beads and the apologizing and the kneeling and Wait, did I cut you off though when you were going to say, of course we both found no
the
free will?
is that. I mean, my whole thing is like, I'm not religious because like, I mean, I just saw this bug online that looks exactly like moss. Like it looks it's like perfect fractals that look so much like moss, and it lives on moss, and it's so elegant, and it's like if it was in your hand it would look like you had a little tiny piece of moss in your hand, and I'm like, there's no way it gets better than this. Like there's no, or when I walk in and Coyote's ears go back and her tail wags just so that my human brain is like, feed this and love this, it's like the best. So the idea of them being like, this one's subpar, what's really good is next, I think is such a slap in the face to how sick things are here.
Wow, that's like the most beautiful reason.
Dude, why
for
would they
atheism
make
that I've
a
ever
tail
heard.
wag? Why? Why would they make her ears perfectly full back when she sees me and her eyes get... There's no way.
Yeah, there is like, life could be bad.
Yeah.
But generally, it's pretty cool that we have like a capacity for like love and joy and pleasure. It's like the whole universe could be fucking nothing at all. It could have been a 2-inch gray box, but instead it's like this shit. That's crazy.
It's crazy. We could live in... There could be a world in which it's like... You know, we could be very far in the future where like we don't have fucking owls and kids are like living on gray slabs and they can't see any of that. And maybe they will need religion. But right now it's like, dude, the only reason I would believe in God is because the owl is so incredible, right? But I would never, like, whatever made that, whatever all encompassing thing created that is amazing. But heaven is where I draw the line. I'm like,
maybe
heaven
that is like,
not...
but we're like, you know, both like, I think fairly like financially stable people doing like our favorite thing, living in New York.
Yeah.
It's like it's pretty easy to not believe in God when you're like, I don't even need any extra. Like I'm good, dude.
Yeah.
Like I could see having like a bad life and being like, I fucking need
Yeah.
God. But
But
like,
even when I had a bad life, I was very like, there is good, and I don't get to experience it right now because of this bad stuff. Like, even if you have a bad life, like if you see the root that's like breaking through a sidewalk, like that's insane.
Yeah.
A root that breaks through a New York City sidewalk is like, just that is like, I mean, I sound so gay, but you're just like, dude, this is just like a living guy being like, fuck off, fuck out of here with his
No.
like tree elbows.
I agree. Like the most like spiritual feelings I ever get are like looking at the stars at night or like nature.
Yeah.
Like that is where I'm like, that's where I'm like, oh, I don't believe in God, but I understand this like awe and appreciation for being here that I think a lot of people, that's what a lot of people call God.
I
You
don't
know what I mean?
mind
I, like-
God. I mind afterlife. I mind there's something else, because I'm like, dude, you have no idea. You have no business telling me that there is.
Yeah.
And you're taking me out of right now. I mean, me and Ismail
Yeah.
talked about this where he's like, this is a practice round. And I'm like, no, fuck you. Live this one to the fullest. You
I
know?
agree. Yeah.
And
Were you raised with religion and idea of an
oh,
afterlife?
no.
You were raised pretty much atheist?
We couldn't even celebrate Christmas.
Wow.
Yeah. My dad was a super weed hippie, and my mom was, they both were like, I think that's how they kind of came together, was they're very atheist, and they're very, and my mom is like my mom is like Sam Harris, Sapolsky,
Yeah.
evolutionary biology.
I grew up in a lot of like, I have my gripes with them now, but when I was in 4th grade for my 9th birthday, I asked to go to the Richard Dawkins lecture at Duke University.
Yes.
I was like, this is the coolest, because like, I was like raised very much on like I was raised, and I'm grateful for this. I was very much raised like, you can think whatever you want to think, but I will question you and make you defend it. It was like, you can be Catholic tomorrow if you want. We were like Jewish atheists, but it was like, you can be Catholic, but I'm going to push you on it, and I'm going to make you defend it and not treat you with kid gloves, which like, I'm like, that's fucking cool, dude.
Yeah.
To be like, I'm going to treat you like an adult in an appropriate way and be like, why do you think that? What about this?
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, when you do that, it's like, it's kind of hard to like,
My
defend.
mom
But I
was
wasn't
like,
like you have to be an atheist, which I think is cool.
yeah, my parents were militant atheists. If I had, I mean, and I was their soldier. Like I went to, you know what I mean? Like I was like, dude, this is one thing we all agree on. It was like I remember in class, we had a monk who brought in all this. She was my religions professor, and she brought in this literature on why the new atheists are like problematic, or the 5 horsemen or whatever. And I was like, you need to provide us literature on them also. You can't just provide this literature on why they're bad. You have to, and it was this huge fight, and like she ended up getting fired. Like it was a screaming match. We hated each other. It was war.
That's so like atheist kid core,
Yeah.
like getting in a fight with your teacher. Like I remember I like to piss a teacher off. I was like, I'm reading the God Delusion.
Yes, the God
And we had, like-
Delusion.
yeah,
Did you
dude.
read
And
the God
I don't think I
Delusion?
even actually read it. It was like a Richard Dawkins book about like, but my thing now is like, I'm not like a God person, but I do think there's like a community and a spiritual, I don't mean spiritual in a new agey sense of like intangible energy. I mean spiritual as in like still deterministic, like whatever chemicals in your body need to happen to be like a full healthy human being. I do think I need a little more like what the community and the connectedness and the nature and all that. I'm like, that hardcore atheism shit doesn't give it to you, I don't think. So I'm like, oh, I'm trying to figure out how to like define what I do believe instead of what I don't believe, you know? Because now
Sam
I'm like,
Harris gives you the spiritual part, and he's a super atheist.
interesting.
I mean, there's undeniable. There's like moments where you are like, you know, you're on your knees and you're like, I need help, and then all of a sudden, like a text comes in that's like, I love you so much, from somebody. You know what I mean? There's so many moments where it's like, there's obviously, you can feel this like, you know, and there's this interconnectivity between people, and there is like, when you're on acid, I mean, you can't do it, but it's like, you're like, everything I've always thought about things being connected is so obviously, it's so funny that I would take it, that I would for a minute think that everything wasn't connected.
And it's cool too that I think you can get to that without acid.
Yeah.
Meditation, or honestly like hearing people talk about like a Terrence McKenna type. I mean, he goes off the deep end a little bit sometimes, but like hearing people be like, this is what I learned from it, just like the
Oh, yeah.
exchange of language is oftentimes like enough. Like, I mean, dude, reading the fucking Sapolsky book is enough for me to be like, wow, I'm like seeing the base code a little bit, you know? Like, and because I can't do acid and I don't want to fly too close to the sun or any of that stuff, learning about like science is, I think, the way to be like, wow, what is all of this, you know? It gives me this like deep feeling in my gut and my heart about like, holy fuck, I can't believe I'm part of this.
Yes, yeah. I know. I used to try and get into the whole like the world is so massive, so you are nothing, and I'd be like, that hurts. You know what I mean? And then like the no free will thing came into my life, and that was so much better because it was like, oh, it's not that I'm nothing. It's not that I'm a tiny speck. It's that everything is the same thing and we're all just perpetuating forward.
Yes, exactly. I think those are two things that people interpret as like really nihilistic and negative, and I don't see them that way. Like the universe is so massive doesn't mean that I'm dwarfed by it.
Yeah.
There's no I'm part of it.
Yeah.
So it's beautiful that it's massive. It's not in comparison to me.
Yeah.
And then the no free will thing, it's like, I think it's more like Shane Moss has like such a good joke about it where he's like, if I'm a child of God, I'm like not doing great. But if I'm a monkey, I'm doing incredible.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I
That's
feel.
good.
I'm like, it's like, oh, this could have been nothing at all. So the fact that it's happening is such a like precious, beautiful thing. So I don't know. To me, it doesn't feel nihilistic. It feels even more, the fact that there's no reason behind it is all the more reason to like cherish it and protect it and appreciate it, because like, what a happy accident, you know?
Sapolsky, my mom has read that book. I haven't read that book yet. But when I opened it, there's like figures. Is it scientific in it?
Yeah, it's yes, but it's I think definitely written for like, it's not, you don't have to be a scientist to read it. It's definitely written for like just anyone who's interested in it to understand.
And it's determinism? No, it's not determinism.
It's about determinism. I mean, I'm only like a third of the way through, but it's about his argument that we have no free will and that the universe is completely deterministic. And basically just that it's not, yeah, I mean, I think that's essentially it. Is like the universe is completely deterministic and every chemical action that happens in your brain has a like physical, mechanical cause. There's no like magical other thing that happens. But again, I'm only a third of the way through. But yeah, it's all like determinism. But a really interesting distinction that he makes is that there's a difference between deterministic and predetermined.
Yes.
So it doesn't mean that everything's already going to happen the way that it's going to happen, but it does mean that everything has a cause. You know what I mean?
Right, yes.
We don't know what the cause and effect is going to be, but it's never going to happen just because.
Right. If the dominoes fall, you have no idea which way they're going to fall,
Bro,
but they are going to fall.
We have such similar brains. That's literally the metaphor that I did to explain it to myself. I was like, if you had dominoes in a grid and you dropped a fucking penny, you don't know what the pattern's going to be, but there's no domino that you're like fell over because it decided to.
Yes.
Just because you didn't know what was going to happen doesn't mean that you can't trace back retroactively what made it happen. But bro, I agree so hard.
I know. I think we might have been raised and have the same brain. It's actually crazy. But the free will thing, my mom has tried to explain it to me, and people get really upset, which you've probably experienced, where they're like, no, watch, I can choose the blue phone over the green phone. Like I can. And I'm like, it's not about making the illusion of choice is always there, but everything leading up to that moment led you to grab the blue phone first. The fact that I'm positioned this way and my eyes moved easily to that rather than that is not up to me. That wasn't up to me. That was up to the person who put this chair here.
There's like a quote that's like, I forget who said it, but you can will what you will. Like you can decide what you want, but you can't decide what you want to want.
Yeah.
And like, okay, wait, I have a way that I kind of like square, because it's kind of like once you start being like, oh, I don't have free will, it's like thinking about how many times you blink a minute, like you'll just go crazy.
Yeah.
But this is maybe a little obnoxious and lengthy. Is this what the people want? Okay.
Yes.
Is like, this is the way that I think about it, is like, you know, the idea of like emergent properties.
Yes.
So like if
quirk, popping a quirk or whatever.
Yeah, like if you start with physics at a big enough scale, eventually physics becomes chemistry, and chemistry becomes biology. Biology becomes psychology, which becomes sociology, which blah, blah, blah. But if I want to predict how a social interaction is going to go, I'm not going to use physics to do it. I'm going to use the rules of the scale that it's on.
Right. That's
You know
why
what I mean? Where it's
it
like,
was fucked up in the 70s when everybody was like, remember the slit and particle theory? Basically, they were like the two slits. They shot these photon between two slits.
oh, yeah. I forget what happened, but I have heard of this.
It's like basically it was they would go through one or the other or both, depending on if the observer was witnessing. And then they were like, that means that in real life, they translated it to basically, long story short, like The Secret, where it's like you can manifest what you want. You know
Dude,
what I
that
mean?
new agey shit where they're like, quantum mechanics means that like maybe your husband does still love you.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
so
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
stupid to me. I'm like, that's
Yeah.
not what it means. But it's like, but yeah, it's like, but the emergent properties thing being that like theoretically, there's two different schools of thought, but there's one that like theoretically, if you had an infinitely powerful supercomputer and you knew the position of every single atom at the beginning of the Big Bang and you know the rules of physics, you could predict how this conversation's going to go.
Yeah.
But we don't have an infinitely powerful
But
supercomputer.
they're making a big supercomputer.
That's crazy. But I mean, like, but that's how I think about the free will shit is I'm like, yeah, if I were an infinitely powerful supercomputer, I could go to the base code and see what chemicals are happening in my brain to make me choose the blue phone over the green phone. But I'm not. So I'm going to accept that I'm an animal and I
Yeah.
don't have omniscience beyond my own subjective experience. So I do feel like I have free will. You know what I mean? It's like I have to live in the like kind of animal realm of it. And it's cool that we can have this abstract understanding of maybe the mechanics of what's happening, but I'm never going to be able to experientially feel that on that mechanical level. That's just like a different scale
it's
of the
also-
system. You know what I mean?
It's also not like arbitrary. Like there are times where I would get on stage and have a weird set and get off stage and like basically go back to my hotel and become a goth girl again. You know what I mean? I would just burn the place down and just be like, everything's awful. I'm gonna smoke cigarettes in here. My life is meaningless. And then I do another show and it'd be good. And I'd be like, never mind, I'm okay. And it's like now I get off stage and I'm like, oh, everything the way I was, the way the audience was, the way the club is, that's exactly what was going to happen and what did happen. And tomorrow I'm going to witness as, you know, like,
Whoa, this is really interesting because what we were just talking about, like, it's like, oh, I wish I had that kind of like trust in God and faith in the universe thing. We're kind of getting that through this determinism stuff.
dude, the free will thing helps me
That's
with.
really interesting.
I mean, the free will, like the worst case scenario is like, it's 5 a.m. I went to bed at 3 a.m. I have to be on a flight. I feel crazy. I feel like I'm like, dude, I'm going to get to the show. I'm not going to have enough sleep. I don't even know. I have to eat candy in order to like get food. Like there's all these things that I'm being bombarded and I'm like, I'm overloading. And I'm like, dude, all you have to do is sit back and witness what happens. That's all you have to do.
I do think, though, there's a slippery slope of hearing the free will thing and being like, I need no like accountability or initiative or anything. I'm not saying that's what you're doing, but I think some people take it that way. And it's like, no, the same reason it feels like you can still pick the blue phone, you still have to behave like I think it's dangerous.
It's not that you have to, it's that you will. I mean, Sam Harris
But I'm
is
saying
like,
it's really easy it would be really easy to be like, to justify bad behavior by being like, it's always what I was going to do. Like, yeah, we don't have free will, but I think we still have to act like we do. Otherwise, it's really easy to completely absolve yourself of any
I think that's a myth.
responsibility for your actions.
I don't think that happens. I don't.
But the same reason everyone feels like they have free will is because we're still Okay, well, no, interesting. Sorry, I cut you off. What were you going to say?
You can't escape the illusion. You can't
Yes,
escape it.
I
There
agree.
is no way. So say I sat in this chair and I said, I'm not going to move because I have no free will and this is what I was going to do anyway. There's no world in which I wouldn't have done that. This is the world, therefore I am doing it. You know what I mean? So it's like that is who I was that day. It's unlikely that I'll do that because I get bored sitting in a chair. And if I tell you there's multiple train tracks you're on, and I'm going to go, one is sick, the other kind of sucks, the other one is nothing, you're going to be like, mine is going to be sick. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like people, unless you suck. And then if you suck, then you are going to suck. You know what I mean?
I guess I'm just saying, since we're stuck in the illusion, I still am going to play by the rules of the illusion. And
Yeah.
I can go to this other interesting abstract thought place about free will. But if I like punched you in the face and was like, I was always going to do that, it's like, maybe,
you would
but on like
never
a
do
basic
that.
like touch grass human to human level, it just seems like a really easy way to absolve yourself of any any accountability. You know what I mean?
But what I'm saying is if you punch me in the face right now,
Uh-huh.
and then afterwards you went, I have no free will. That wasn't up to me, right?
Uh-huh.
What you leading up to now in this moment would not do that. And if you did do that, you'd be a different person who would do that. Does that make sense? Like the person who,
Yes.
like say I stab somebody and I go, first of all, it's true. If I stab somebody and afterwards I go, well, I would have done that anyway. That is true because there is no other reality. So everything that led that person to stab meant that they had the capacity to break skin with a knife. Crazy. They had a rage in them. There was something behind it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And afterwards, if they go, if they don't feel empathy for the person, which makes them want to change, then they're unempathetic and they're a sociopath, right? But being like, there's only a better way of looking at things. If I stab somebody and they die, right? And then afterwards I go, I have no free will. That was going to happen no matter what. It doesn't absolve me. It just makes it just makes my life less miserable so that I can move forward to be a better person. Any relationship to the past that is I'm bad doesn't help anybody.
I understand that where like guilt and shame are just perpetuate a cycle, and acceptance and like radical empathy are the way out of it. I think, I guess what I'm saying, okay, I don't entirely disagree. I think I'm saying when you were like, oh, I'm sure you've gotten frustration from people because they're like, look, I have free will. I'm like, we are never going to escape the illusion of it.
You can't.
So on a personal, practical basis, I have to play by the rules of the illusion. And abstractly, intellectually, I have all these thoughts about determinism and free will, but I can't let the two cross, because otherwise I think it might influence actions in ways that are in the same way that people are like, I always feel like I have free will. I think I'm kind of talking in circles, but do you get what I'm saying?
If you relinquish,
I'm like, they have to be two separate realms, because we're not supercomputers. We are still like animals, and we're still living in the like, I still like, I maybe I don't have free will, but I still have to like push myself as if I do.
But you would no matter what.
Yes, but I can't get stuck in that thought loop and let it change my actions. Do you know what I mean?
Won't. Just try.
No, but I'm saying there's two different paths of thought. This was the emergent properties thing. I'm like, there's the deterministic, I'll always do what I was going to do. And then there's like the me and my animal brain walking around in the world that just has to think by a different set of rules. I have to think like in the free will way. But even though I agree that it's all deterministic, but on like a personal level.
But it's like quantum mechanics.
Loop.
You can't get in that thought loop. It's not possible. So say all day today you go, I have no free will. You're going to do exactly what you would have done anyway. You're just going to be a little bit more patient with yourself and witness, and be less of like there's going to be less regret and agitation.
Okay, interesting thought I want to inject though.
Yes.
There's also the possibility, I don't think this, but there's the possibility that we're wrong about free will. And so I'm like, let me pretend like I have free will, because what if we're wrong and I do a bunch of bad stuff and think it's not my fault? You know what I mean?
That's your OCD. We're crossing the world.
But I'm like, why not trend towards trying to be good, you know?
What I'm saying is trend towards witnessing yourself moving through life, as opposed to tooth and nailing through life.
Okay, yeah, I don't hate that.
Like I'm saying, after this pod, if you go and write somewhere, if you go get some lunch or whatever you do, witness yourself, because then I have no free will and watch Maddie choosing all these things. This is amazing, because then you get to experience life way more richly than if you're like, what do I get for lunch? What do I get?
That's really interesting.
Yeah,
and that's almost like
saying.
A meditation thing of like letting That's really interesting.
Like on stage, you're going to do your best. Even if, and still right before you go on stage, if you have the thought of like, I don't know how this is going to go, but it's going to go exactly how it goes. There's a freeing feeling where you get to watch yourself perform.
Okay, I get that. That's cool. Yeah.
Because you can't escape the choices. That's totally inescapable. But you can at least escape the bad thoughts about yourself, which go away.
And are not super productive.
They
and
don't
are
do
different
shit.
from accountability. Yeah. There's also, I think, like if you really believe in free will, there's almost this like pilgrim Puritan kind of Christian thing of like, it's your character that has done this to you, versus like seeing someone do something bad, like even commit a violent crime, and be like, well, maybe they're also like the victim of their circumstances, and it's not that they have like a bad soul, but it's like that the conditions created led to that. Like I agree that it like opens you up to more empathy in that way too.
Totally.
Yeah,
and it liberates you from the idea that there's good actions of yours and bad actions, and it's more like that action, I'm witnessing that action make me not feel so good, and I will do differently, as opposed to I did that bad. That was bad of me to do.
Wait, this is random, but can I ask you, this is like a little puzzle question that,
yes.
Okay, because my friend and I did this, and we both got it immediately, to the point that we were like, this is so comically simple that I must be missing something. And other people have been like, literally sat for like,
what's the commonality between 2 and 7? Because that's easy. 7 is a boy too. Seven's a 2, but it's a boy. No, 2's the boy, 7's the girl. Okay, go.
Whoa, to me, 7's orange for sure, and 4 is green, and 3 is maybe yellow, and 5 is blue, and 6 is purple.
5 is definitely blue.
Same guy.
2, yeah,
But
did
this
I
is a
say
different thing.
7's a girl. 7's a girl, a hot girl. 2's a silly boy. But they're the same.
Interesting. I don't really get the gender on but I have a color thing for sure. My friend had a really interesting one where she was like, I picture numbers like I'm walking down a hallway, but some numbers I turn. I was like, that's crazy. That's so cool.
Okay, tell me this.
But this is a totally other thing. And it's something about, supposedly it was like, this is a sociopath test. There's no way it's like
God.
a diagnostically, sorry, I know OCD, this is not, there's no way it is. It's just like context
Did
clues.
you win
But whatever.
sociopath or not sociopath?
I got sociopath.
Oh, great.
But I was like, I'm not a sociopath. I'm just not
No, that's great,
stupid.
because if I get it wrong, I'm not a sociopath, and if I get it right, I'm not a sociopath, because
You're
you're
a
obviously
genius,
not a
yeah.
sociopath.
Okay, so I'll make it a girl because we're girls. A girl goes to her mother's funeral, and there's a really cute guy there in attendance, and she's never seen him before. She's like, wow, he's really cute. But the funeral ends, and she leaves before she's able to get his number. A week later, her dad dies. What happened?
You got it immediately?
Fuck! Oh, no!
A week later, her dad dies? How is that Wait, she goes to a funeral, her mom is dead.
Here she goes to her mom's funeral. Sees a cute guy that is attending the funeral. A week later, but she doesn't get his number. A week later, her dad dies. What happened?
I don't know.
She killed her dad so the guy would show up at the funeral.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my
I was like,
God.
obviously. I wouldn't do that, but like, if you were crazy, that's what you would do. There's no other components in the story. Like, that's what it is.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah?
Oh no, that doesn't make sense. I was going to say if I knew it was a sociopath test, that might change it. But I did know, and it didn't change it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I gave her all the benefit of the doubt. I was
That's
like,
so
oh my
funny.
God,
Me and
that's
my
so
friend were like,
sad.
Yeah, he knew her parents. She didn't know. He
Oh,
killed the dad.
that's so scary. No, I never would have thought that.
I'll fight anyone though who's like, you're a sociopath. I'm like, I wouldn't do it. Because I was talking to my friend about it. I was like, oh my God, my friend that got it right. I was like, oh my God, do you think that means we're sociopaths? He was like, no, I think it means that most people would be bad detectives. And I was like,
Let's
that's
ask
so
my mom
funny.
because she's a bit of a sociopath.
I think it's more if you're able to look at these people in the story as abstract players as opposed to like, you're people. But to me, I'm like, yeah, it doesn't mean that I view people that way. I'm just able to like do a mental exercise that like.
I think it means you're a serial killer.
I think it means I'm good at math problems.
Mom,
What?
I have a riddle to ask you.
Okay.
You're on a podcast.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Is Evie okay? She got hit by a
Just
porcupine.
had 10 more taken out.
Oh. Okay, ready for the riddle?
Do you want me
I'll
to do
give
it?
it a shot.
Okay, go ahead, Maddie.
Okay, hi, nice to meet you. This is the riddle.
Dude, Maddie is reading Robert fucking Sapolsky, dude.
Obsessed, he rocks.
Determined?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a
And your behavior's really good.
behave.
I want to read that too.
But-
and there's a book he recommends in it about chaos theory that I want
When
to read
she was
too.
in 5th grade or whatever, she asked it for her birthday to go to a Hitch lecture.
Richard Dawkins.
Oh, Dawkins lecture.
Oh.
Mom said, "Oh." You sound like Coyote when there's somebody outside my door. Oh. Okay, all right, ask.
Okay, so a woman is at her mom's funeral, and she sees a really cute guy there, but they don't have a chance to talk. The funeral ends. She didn't get his number or anything. A week later, the girl's mom dies. The girl's dad dies. What happened?
What? A girl is at her mom's funeral and she's a cute guy.
But the funeral ends. She didn't get a chance to get his number. A week later, her dad dies. What happened?
Fucking man killed her dad so he could go to another funeral.
Thank you.
my God.
Thank you.
Y'all are fucking sociopaths, dude. I never would have thought that. I was like, I don't know, but what happened? Well, they were both sick and that guy was trying to help. That's crazy. Y'all are nuts for thinking that.
You're not.
Okay.
You're the one that dates these type of people.
The what?
She said you're the one who dates these type of people. All right, true that. Okay, I love you, Mom. Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Love you, honey.
Bye.
Bye.
She's like, I don't know, you killed the father, possibly. I do date those same people, dude.
That's so funny.
fucking,
That's great, but that's also why I'm like that. I wonder if that's like part of my OCD too. Is I'm like, that was such an easy question for me to answer, and I don't think that I'm like a bad person, but it's easy for your OCD to go, why was I able to think that? Blah blah. Am I a bad person? I got to make sure I try to be
Maddie,
a good person.
if you had said man, I would have said that.
Wait, if I had said man,
If
in
you
what
had
way?
said a guy went to his mom's funeral, saw a really hot girl, and then I might have said he killed. But
Really?
think
I changed it to girl because I was like, where girls? What's the
dude?
maybe
Maybe
that
I don't imagine girls that, but no, that goes both ways. Because I can imagine a borderline girl going cray cray. You know.
Damn, I wish I had asked it as a man. It would have been interesting to see.
I
You really
think-
you think you would have gotten it?
You know what I think it is also? I think my OCD gets so triggered when you say at their mom's funeral that what happens in my mind, because my OCD is all mainly built around my mom, a big time, is that
so we were tapping into a whole.
Yeah.
You're like, I was too mentally ill to take the sociopath
yeah,
test.
yeah. Totally. So I was being like, no, the mom didn't die. They don't die. Moms never die. Moms don't die. See, because you step over the cracks and you don't do the bad things. Dude, that's so funny.
I want to start asking other comics this and see if people get it. I think
Those are my favorite things in the world.
I don't think it's a sociopath test. I think it's like a problem solving thing. And you do have to look at the people in a sort of inhumane chess piece way.
Okay,
but that doesn't mean
do you
that
want to put it to the
do
test right
that.
now? I have a chess piece riddle that's
Okay. A chess piece riddle? Do I have to know how to play chess?
nope.
Okay.
Okay. A guy goes into a hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, start over. 3 guys go into a hotel. They go up to the concierge and they say, hi, we need 3 rooms. The concierge goes, we don't have 3 rooms open, but I can give you 1 room, 3 beds. Give me $30. And the guy's like, okay, that sounds good. They each give him $10. Okay. The manager comes back in and is like, is that room full? And they're like, yeah, I just rented it to 3 guys. And they go, okay, well, that's not a $30 room. That's a $25 room. So can you go bring them their money back? And the concierge is like, okay. And he takes out 5 ones out of the register and he goes up and he's like, what am I going to do? Divvy these out between these dudes? I'm going to give them each $1 back and I'm going to pocket 2 for myself. Okay. So if each man ended up paying $9 in total, 9 times 3 is what?
God, I
27.
Okay, that's so
27.
embarrassing.
I didn't know either when I said it. Is 27. Then, right? So
That's
27.
horrific that I've forgotten multiplication tables, but yeah.
27. And then 9 times 3 is 27. So then there's $3 left, right? So it's 25. 3 went to the guys. Wait. 27.
You're asking why 27 plus 2 doesn't equal 30?
Yeah.
Can I? It would be so funny if we were just doing it because we got the first
That's
round
not
wrong.
what it is.
9 times 3 is 27.
He went upstairs. He gave them each $3. That's 26, 27, 28. He put $2 in his pocket. What am I trying to say? I forgot how to say the riddle. $9 each. That's 27. Oh, yeah. $2 in his pocket. Where's the last dollar? That's what the riddle is. If
I mean,
each
this
of
feels
them-
very like the slicing the chocolate
Yes.
thing,
Yes.
but I don't remember what the answer is to that either. It's something about the false premise of they each paid 9
Yep.
is throwing us off,
That's exactly right.
but I don't know what.
No, that's it. That's it. False premise. That's the answer.
They didn't each pay $9.
There is no extra dollar. Oh, yeah.
Well,
so
for
it's-
sure, but I don't understand. Why it seems like they each paid 10, they got $1 back.
27. So they each played 10.
Mm-hmm.
Then they each got $1 back.
Yeah.
So they paid 9, right? Which is 20. That means they all paid 27. And then he pocketed $2, which brings it to 29. Where's the last dollar?
They kill the concierge guy and they take
Yeah,
the last
that's it.
$2.
No, it's a false premise. I think it's like Einstein's riddle or something. It's just
Wait,
that
but so what is what are we missing? What's the answer?
the answer is there is no last dollar. The answer is it was $25. They gave each of them $3, which adds up to 27, which adds up to
28.
28. And
Wait.
then he pocketed 2. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30.
Yeah, but then why does 9 times 3? Why does that feel right and it's not right?
Because because they each have $27, and then if you take the 3 from that, it makes 30. The 3 from each makes 30. It's like an inverse. Take those $3 back from those guys, it adds up to 30 again. Brett, look. This will help. Take those $3, add them to the guys. That's 27. Take the $2 in his pocket, 25. We're back to where we started. It costs $25.
I'm about to
Because
go.
25 plus 5 is 30, but 27 plus 3 is 30 as well. So those 2 missing dollars look like they're on the 27 side, but they're really on the 25 side. Is that helping? I have $5. I give them each one, right? That adds up to...
I can't believe I understood murder better than like basic math. That's
No,
so
this is the
upsetting.
hardest riddle of all times. It took me a week to figure out. Scribbling.
I'm going to be scribbling.
Yeah.
You've sent me on a scribbling
So
quest.
your problem is if 27 is what they paid, then where did the extra dollar go? Because he put 2 in his pocket.
I'm having such caveman brain about it. I'm like, but if 9 times 3 is 27 plus 2, why is it not?
Because that dollar doesn't exist. It's an illusion. The $3.
Is the answer that all money's fake?
The answer is
And they all
capitalism
fucked?
is a lie, dude.
Yeah.
The $3 off of the $30 in toto went back.
I was like, where'd the extra dollar go? I ate it. I ate the dollar. I have it right here.
Yeah. My mom couldn't get this one either, and she's the smartest lady ever. $3 off the 30, right? Got just put back into the 27.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
27. Okay.
Okay.
Plus 2 doesn't matter because that's not even a calculation we're making. We're doing 27 plus 3 that we just
Okay.
gave back, which is 25.
Okay, that makes sense.
23 is 30, and those $2 just brings it to 25. The problem is we're looking at the number 25 and we're looking at number 27, and you should not do that. This fucked me up, dude.
What's my
I was a
name?
roofer in Chicago.
Where am I?
Dude, I was living with a man
Dude,
named...
I was like,
It's fucked up. I was living with a man named Angel who had bullet wounds in his body and tattoos of pit bulls on his body living in Chicago. And he told me this riddle as I was going out the door to my roofing job. And I mean, it was like a week of me being like, and until I ran in the room and I go, there is no dollar. And he was like, that's exactly right. And I was like, fuck you.
Whoa.
Yeah. It took me forever. Scribbles. It was crazy. I mean, I was very young.
I think it helps OCD too to be like, have just like fucking puzzles and shit.
Dude, you should try logic equations. That's the best thing in the whole world.
Is that where you take like a sentence, but you give like I have a friend who was getting their PhD in that. Where it's
That's
like all these like symbols
incredible.
and you're basically doing math with like words.
Dude,
It's
they taught me
fucking
that
crazy.
in school, and I was like, you just fill books up being like solving force of. It's the most
I can't.
satisfying.
That sounds crazy.
You would love it. No, it's so easy.
I thought about
I'm
like, doing
retarded.
math for fun just to get my brain like going again.
Yeah.
It could be good, but this sounds similar in like a.
Logic is easier because math can be scrunching because it gets down into decimals. Decimals can fuck off and die. Logic has no decimals. It just has, this equals this, if then this, then this.
It's almost
then
like
you're
programming. It sounds like
it is like programming, which is like satisfying as shit.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, I'm gonna check that out. I thought that was like too hard. I thought you had to have like a PhD to do it,
Yeah.
but you don't.
No.
Oh.
No way.
I'll get a
studying
workbook or something.
philosophy. And then the last topic I wanted to cover with you, because we have free will, OCD, and then the other thing we have in common, food addiction.
Yeah.
The food addiction and the OCD, we have talked about this, is the same problem.
To me, it seems like a little bit of a self-soothing thing in the face of. Honestly, I was thinking about this because I didn't know what intrusive thoughts were for so long, and I didn't get really diagnosed with OCD until like maybe, honestly, it might have been this year.
Which is fucked up, and I'm so sorry. I was diagnosed
Thanks,
so
dude.
young, and I cannot imagine going through that.
Those intrusive
Why
thoughts.
didn't you tell your parents that you were...
I didn't know it wasn't normal. And also, if you really think that those are real thoughts you're having, you don't tell anybody about it because you're like, oh my God, I'm a horrible person.
Are those your real eyelashes?
Yeah. Wow. I have mascara on.
Yeah, but they're beautiful.
Thank you.
Zoe Deschanel.
Thank you.
I'm the other Chanel. I'm Bone Chanel.
It's sick, dude.
What's her name?
Emily Deschanel.
Emily Deschanel. Wait,
she-
why didn't you go to your mom and say, I'm having these crazy thoughts. Am I wrong or am I right?
Because I had no control thing to compare it to, and I just believed the thoughts. So I'd be like, and they didn't logically not make that much sense. I'd be like, okay, for the water thing, that didn't happen until I was older, but like, what if someone poisoned my water? I just thought it was like, technically that could have happened, so I'll throw the water. Like, I don't know. I didn't have any barometer that other people weren't feeling this way, or that it wasn't just anxiety or whatever. And because I was getting treated for like anxiety, so I thought that was just part of it.
Okay.
But I think part of the food addiction came from like, those intrusive thoughts are so upsetting. And especially if you're like, I feel like a kind person that like cares about people, and I'm trying to, they feel so incongruent with who you feel like you are, that it's like getting jump scares in your own brain all the time, that I literally think I was self-soothing with food because I was just like freaking out. I was just having a horror movie played behind my eyes my whole life. I mean, that sounds dramatic, but it's like
so
literally
much,
almost that extreme.
Yeah, I had so much visuals of blood and slicing and all sorts of shit.
Yeah, same.
And it was impossible. There were two things that I could drown it out with. Friendship, like if we were just doing things all the time, and codependency, which made me a codependent, and food. If I was alone, and I'm still this way, if I'm alone, the food is gone.
Now that I upped my Prozac and I started taking Adderall, and the food addiction is pretty much.
Here's my question about Adderall.
Over. It's not in an appetite suppressant way. Also, it's like I still get hungry. Yeah. It's just that like I don't feel bored or worried.
You eat
and
when
feel like
you're
I have
hungry?
this full I'm like, I have the relationship with food that it's just food now.
Yeah.
For the most part, it really was just like medication for the most part, and therapy.
Totally.
But like sometimes it is just medication.
Yeah.
It's just, and that's a free will thing too, where it's like I don't need to have this grit and determine and figure it out. It's like it's a chemical problem. It has a chemical solution. Yeah. There's therapy and stuff too, but it's like it doesn't need to be this moral like I must overcome this. It's like just fix it, and then your life's better.
When you do Adderall, is it extended release?
Yes.
So what is it, 20 or 10?
20.
So 20 in the day, and then my problem with Adderall, why I had to quit, was because around 8 p.m. it would wear off. And then I had to go on stage. So I just
drink a coffee.
Zoinking.
I've only been on it. I took it in high school for a while, like prescribed it, and then stopped, and now I'm on it again for like, it's been like 2 or 3 months. And I don't really crash. I just maybe get a little sleepy, and so I drink coffee. But I don't have this like, fuck, I'm falling off thing.
I have almost like a Coke dip.
Whoa.
Where it's almost
I have
like,
that if I don't take it the next day. I can't skip days. I do need to take it every day. But the taper off at night is pretty smooth for me as long as I have a coffee.
Yeah, my taper was like suddenly I'd be a huge cunt.
That's tough. Even with extended release.
Yeah, it would just drop off suddenly. And extended release, I couldn't control. I mean, this is probably because like I am bad with food, because the way I've dealt with food addiction is not eating or overeating or not eating. So it was like, I think I quit Adderall. I also would like, I mean, I was in a horrible relationship where I was getting panic attacks with the person, but I was like, I think it's the Adderall.
That's brutal.
But it was like, it was also, the other thing is like, if you give me a pill, I can be like, that pill right now is making me feel this crazy way, and then it gets way worse. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the other thing too, is I'm like, it's so easy to talk yourself into like
Psychosis.
For example, like someone put acid in the water, and if I drink it, I'm gonna go crazy. You can just mentally, emotionally, through panic, get yourself to such a crazy drug-like state that it's like, actually drugs don't have an effect, but it's like anxiety can get you there just as much, if not more, I think.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather,
totally.
if I, let's say Adderall made me more anxious, if I took Adderall and it made me a little anxious versus if I was dead sober and I just had like one of my worst panic attacks, that's going to be a more destabilizing, psychedelic, hellish experience than I think any good drug experience would be. You know what I mean?
If you took the drug, if your anxiety jacked you up, that's more destabilizing than if you knew a drug was jacking you up.
Yeah, I'd just be like, it's easy to like take something and be like, oh my God, is it making me this way? And you're like, well, first let me rule out my own anxiety and fix that, because that is so powerful that it's like, if I get that under control, the drug is probably only a little. I'm not doing a great job of saying this, but do you know what I mean? I think I'm just kind of trying to agree with you that it's like, if you're just actually anxious, that can get you to such a crazy state that it feels like you took a drug.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's easy to attribute it to something else.
Yes.
But it's like, can just be a panic attack.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If I take that Adderall and it's a sugar pill, and I'm going to have a panic attack.
Exactly. That's what I'm, yeah.
But you don't, you take it and you didn't feel you didn't get yipped up.
I'm definitely like up a little bit, but it made my brain quiet for the first time. That's how I was like, oh, I really do have ADHD, because I was like, I'm not like, I was like, if I'm reading something, I'm just thinking about what I'm reading. Not in like a robot way, but just in like a, no, if anything, I honestly think it made my anxiety better because my brain's not jumping around to a million things. And also, I think a lot of my anxiety was because I felt out of control in my life because ADHD made it really hard to like respond to emails and do my laundry and keep my life in order. And when my life is in order, my anxiety is better because I don't feel like I'm spiraling out of control. So like treating my ADHD had so many positive ripple effects with like anxiety and OCD.
My best friend is the same way. She's like, it finally quieted it and I can focus. And I'm like, for me, when I took it, my life would spin out of control. It was like the circles under the eyes would get crazy. I would kind of be like, look,
Adderall would make it worse. Do you have ADHD? Do you think?
Of course. I mean, I'm that ADHD queen. But it would, it would. My ADHD is like, there's something about it that's not chaotic. It's like, it's almost like it's not even. Here's how I know I have ADHD. The other day I was putting on a shoe and sock, and then I realized I wanted to buy these shoes, and Jake walked in and I was like, do you think I should get these shoes? And I had one shoe and sock on and the other foot was barefoot.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's it. Like, you can't focus on one thing. And it does get chaotic, but I just wonder if my measuring was wrong, or the way I was doing it wrong, or was the food intake, or if it was bad.
Or maybe you were having other anxiety that you attributed to the Adderall that like if you took it at a better point in your life, it would help.
I think that's what it was. I think I was getting dumped every other week and I had Adderall in me and I was having panic attacks, which I have every time now, even if I wasn't on Adderall. And
like it's Adderall and it's like, it's men.
Yeah, I think it might be.
It's a man.
I remember sitting and being like, I'm worried he's going to break up with me. And I remember him being like, did you take Adderall? You seem panicked. And
Fuck that.
And me being like, yeah,
Jesus,
I did take
Jordan.
Adderall.
That's
Dude,
horrible.
Oh my God. The amount of times I had panic attack and that dude was like, you really seem crazy. And I'm like, bro, I'm fucking freaking out right now. You're acting like you hate me, you know?
Jesus
like, you were
Christ.
there for one.
Yeah.
You were there when I was like, when you.
Oh my God.
That was a full panic attack. I left the room because I had a full panic attack.
Oh, I didn't know it was a full. Oh,
yeah.
Damn. I would have
That's
like
why I
called you or
texted you
something.
being like, I'm so sorry. Dude, I got in the car and was like, we got to get. Because he was there and he just was completely ignoring me and being like, hey. And I was like, what's going on? And he was just like, nothing. And then I panicked to the point where I was like, dude, we are dating. Why are you not saying a word to me? And then I just started shaking and had to leave. But I wasn't on Adderall then. But that's how it felt every time. So I wonder if I took it now.
Yeah, I wonder if none of that was Adderall.
Oh, I'm curious.
That would be really interesting.
That would be interesting.
Because if it seems like we have very similar brains in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And I wonder if the ADHD. It's also like ADHD is so the like, you know, easy joke of like, oh, nothing disease, everyone gets diagnosed with it, it's for privileged kids in the suburbs to like make up a problem. But I'm like, if you really have it's like fucking debilitating, dude, if you don't treat it. So it's like
house, dude, I leave on tour and I call Brianna and I'm like, dude, I need your help. Like, I've done something bad with my house. And you're going to see it because she'll come over and clean for me. So, because, I'll pay her, just because I'm like, please help me. And I don't trust anybody else in my house. And she knows where everything goes and she loves doing it because she loves helping me. And I'll just be like, dude, it went a little crazy. And it's like, it's not dirty. Nothing's filthy, but it's like a crazy amount of Amazon boxes, like projects that I've started, wood blocks places. Like it's all these just like half-cocked things.
Oh, dude. Yeah. My room. That's why, I don't think you'd mind me saying this. Kenyon was the one who I actually owe him a huge thank you. He was like, hey, you need to like, I think you have ADHD and I think you really need to get it checked out.
Really?
Because it was like, dude, it would be like I started painting the apartment and then it was halfway painted for like 3 months. It still is halfway painted. My room was a fucking mess to the point that I was almost like, oh my God, am I going to like get sick? Because I'm not like, I forgot that it was like really, really bad. And
you have to implement OCD for that.
You said what?
The way to deal with that is you utilize
theoretically,
OCD.
you would think OCD would counter ADHD. Whoa, wait, dude.
Yes.
OCD being like, oh my God, I need some sense of control. Because if you have ADHD, you're so out of control all the time.
Yeah.
So being in control, I'm like, I don't crave control as much because I'm like on top of my shit. Dog, there's so...
Yeah.
I wish there was more like research on that because I haven't found that much online. But anecdotally, I'm like, that's clearly
Anecdotally,
thing.
as in my entire life is out of control, therefore OCD tries to assert control in ridiculous ways because the
Yes.
rest is out of control. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I lived with my
Bro, we kind of might have solved that. That makes so much
Yeah.
sense.
Well, it happens to kids who their lives are out of control. Like my life was out of control. My house was covered in cat piss. It was like so many farm animals. I had the rabbits, I had everything. And my dad was like, one day, I'm like 6, he goes, "Don't let the dog into your room. She'll shit in there." And I was like, okay. And I shut the door and I was like, I don't think the door's shut. And I went back and I was stuck at the door for like an hour being like, it's not shut, it's not shut, it's not shut. What was going
Literally
on
the
was like,
inception moment of
it was like, there's shit everywhere. My parents are in a custody battle. There's chaos. And I'm like, just looking at the door being like, but you're closed, but you're closed, but you're closed.
Oh, wow.
And so I think that totally makes sense.
Damn.
And it is like, yeah. And it is, dude, even last night, it's like, I was like, why don't I do my dishes? Like, why don't I do them before I go to bed? Why do I let them build up? And then I was like, because I get home and instead of dealing with all of that, I do my water party. I do my water obsession where I have to drink this water. And that takes up so much control that allows me to just, I'm like, how am I even able to sleep without breaking down those boxes and stuff? And I'm like, because I did the fucking thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I would even have where like I wouldn't eat like a real meal. I would eat candy because it's like you don't go for the thing that you know you need to do. You go for the thing that's going to feel good. Like that's almost like an ADHD low dopamine thing of like, I'm like seeking a sensation more than like just doing a thing I know I have to do.
I know.
You know, it's like, oh, vacuuming the room is boring, but I want to paint the walls. I want something new and exciting and big. Like,
yeah, the dopamine addiction. I mean, how long it takes me to unpack from the road is just like, dude, just put the shit away. And I'm like, but I have to fix the bed frame, which means I have to invent a new screw.
And then you're like, well, now you've made it such a big project in your head that you're like, okay, so I can't do it now. I got to do it when I have 8 hours open and I can do all this shit.
Yes.
Versus now I'm Adderall. I'm like, I can be like, I have 20 minutes to vacuum a little bit. I didn't get the whole thing, but like I made some progress and that's good.
Wow.
Never been that person in my entire fucking life.
Yeah.
And I was like, it was just a chemical
I'm not
thing.
that way at all. If I have 20 minutes, I'm like, you need to sit quietly and think about something important. You need to do.
No,
It's
that's
crazy.
how I'm wired. I'm like,
Yeah.
usually I can only do something if I have a 5-hour window, but the Adderall has like, I'm like, oh, that was like ADHD, I think.
And you burn out, dude. Last night I was supposed to go to Corn. I had 2 shows. I was like, I texted you.
Oh
I was
yeah,
like,
I'm sorry I couldn't take it.
No, Casey got it. You fixed it.
sick.
I canceled everything and I just got in bed with Coyote and was like, bro, we're breaking down. And I just slept.
I think ADHD burnout is super real too because you're always flying by like the seat of your pants.
Yeah.
And then that of course makes like OCD and anxiety and shit worse because it's like a crazy way to live your life. Dude, yeah, I'm telling you, I wonder if Adderall would be like
Also,
a help.
I always worry because my entire set is inceptions, ADHD inceptions. But it's like this entire podcast has been ADHD inceptions and you're on 20 milligrams of Adderall. You know what I mean? Like this whole thing,
Yeah,
it doesn't take away how your brain works in pockets opening up.
Yeah.
My
It's also
only
like I
beef
think
is-
our like personality and kind of soul is a lot more like robust than we like give it credit for. Is I actually feel like
that's the whole.
And I also was like, I don't think this is the case, but the kind of mental math I was doing before taking it, because I had the same worry, is I was like, let's say this makes me 10% less creative, but it makes me, twice as able to get done what I'm capable of. It's like if I'm 100% creative, but I can't get it together to put any projects out, then what's the point?
Yeah.
I'd rather, even if I took a little hit creatively, but I can, you know what I mean? It's kind of like perfect is the enemy of good. And then I don't even think it gave me a hit like I don't think it hurt it, but I was like, even if it did, if it lets me live my life in a way that I can like do stand up sustainably,
right,
then that's better than this holding out for this ideal world that doesn't exist, But I really don't think it's made me less creative.
I also am a addict, so that was the other
That
reason.
complicates stuff.
I mean, extended release was fine for me because you just take the shit.
Mm.
But when I was on the other one, I would start to crash and then I would take a little bit more before shows and then I'd be up all night and I'd be taking a little so relaxer at night and then it was,
Oh, wow.
But my other beef with it is what was it? It was, they cut it. They cut it from the world. That's when I quit. When they were like, there's a shortage, you have to pay $100 now. That's when I quit.
Yeah, the place that I go like doesn't take my insurance. I pay more out of pocket. It's like,
it's
that's
tough.
That's hard. Yeah.
We have to go.
Okay.
Do we? I mean, I have to pee. How long have we been going?
I think it's been an hour.
I think
Do we have
did
strictly
great.
an hour?
I think that at a young age, something happens where you realize like I could be anybody at any point in time. And I think everything we're talking about is an overactive mind. I think it is a non-linear overactive mind that is so fragile because at any point we can bring ourselves down a really negative road and be like, everything's going to go bad. And that's dopamine for me.
Yeah.
Future tripping, and there isn't a word for it. I call it daymares, where it's like you're basically daydreaming about bad things.
Totally. Yeah.
That makes me feel safe because I'm like, then I know every possible. This is why I date toxic men, because I'm like, I know he's going to leave me. I know he's going to hurt me, and I know how.
Yeah.
Me getting into a safe relationship is like, I don't know what that's like, then that's scary. And with OCD, it's like, I know that this
is the scariest thing with OCD.
uncertainty.
Yeah. I do think though, in a weird way, I'm grateful to like have this brain, because I think you're right that like kept busy and focused on the right projects, it can be, this kind of thinking can be geared towards really interesting stuff.
Yeah.
It just takes a lot of like maintenance and care and attention and like empathy for yourself.
Well, you also have the best avenue out of it is curiosity in other people. So when other people are talking, you're like, your brain immediately is put into a vat where you're like, dude, I'm not obsessing right now.
Yeah,
I'm just
marinating
listening
in your
to this
own ego
person.
is like the worst thing for it.
Yeah. And I think that makes you way more interested in other people, and that makes you want to extract other things because it's satiating to basically get knowledge that's outside of your own fucking cycle, you know? And I think it helps in a lot of ways. I definitely don't regret it. I remember being a kid and writing in diaries being like, just truly wanting to kill myself because of OCD. Just being like,
It's definitely the hardest thing I've ever dealt with
Yeah.
in my life is like mental illness, for sure.
yeah.
It's like, yeah.
And OCD, because you're also just like, your body follows right behind. So your mind is like, you did this wrong. And then your body's like, whoosh. And you're like, come on, we got to chill out. Don't do
Wow,
this.
whoosh is exactly the, yeah.
And you're sick. You're all of a sudden sick. And like, I remember being like, everything's fine, showing up to school, seeing one contaminated person and just being like, whoa. And like, we have stories of like, I would call my mom. There's one, her favorite story is like, she has two favorite stories. One where I was in the gym. I was at the gym working out in like high school, and somebody contaminated walked in, and I called her and I was like, Mom, I can't get out of this room because they touched the door. There's no way for me to get myself out. I can't touch the door. And I was like, there is a crawl space. I can see there's an HVAC crawl space. And my mom was like, you're gonna climb at the gym crawl space? And she was like, no, Jordan, we'll come get you out. And then somebody swung the door wide and I was able to slip out.
Wow.
But her favorite thing is like, you were going to jump into a crawl space. And then her other favorite one is I was walking down the stairs, and we all knew what was contaminated in the house because one of my moms would help me clean it. If my mom helped cleaned it, it was never right. If my other mom cleaned it, it was good. But I was walking down the stairs and the railing was contaminated, and my mom watched me trip. She was at the bottom of the stairs and she goes, I watched you trip, look at the railing, pull away, trip, and then grab it. Like, she was like, I watched you calculate whether or not you were going to break your neck or catch the railing. She's like, that's when because my mom was always like, oh, OCD, is this contaminated? And then she was like, that's when I was like, oh, this is fucked up. She almost just died for the sake of not touching that thing. Wow. And then we like...
Yeah, there's moments when people in your life go, oh, I didn't get it, but now I get it. Because you say something and they're like, yeah, I've had that too.
Well, thank you for doing the pod.
Thank you so much for having me. This was like,
great.
I love talking about stuff. And on a cheesy little note, I like owe you a huge thank you, because you were like one of the first people that I had found resources on the internet, but you were one of the first people in person that talked to me about OCD in like a very fearless way. And it really, really helped me confront it in myself. And I'm like very, very grateful for it.
Hell
so like,
yeah.
Thank you, dude. It was really huge.
I think OCD, I remember as a kid being like, I'd rather have AIDS than OCD. Like, I remember being like, OCD is the worst plague. It's awful. And now I'm at a place where I'm like, it's a demon that you have to confront. So it's like, yeah, anytime I see it, I'm like, you must fight.
You said something really interesting to me. You said, sorry, I know we got to go, but to like untether yourself, you got to like untether yourself from the invisible world. And that's really, really stuck with me. Yeah. So yeah, I just want you to know that had like a huge impact on me, and I really appreciate it.
I love that.
So thanks for having me on.
Helping you. You're very smart. You're incredible at comedy. You're so good. Everybody talks about it. You're so young and so good. Your jokes are incredible. You have to check her out, Maddie Weiner. Thank you. It's crazy. It's anytime you're come up in conversation, it's always like, oh, and Maddie's the best, you know? It's like that. Yeah,
Dude,
you're the best.
You're gonna go.
Plug
Thanks so
your
much. I'm at Maddie T. Wiener on Instagram. I got tour dates coming up. I have a podcast called Phone is in the Bag with my buddy Kenyon Adamchick. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's really where we're, if you do that, I'd be a happy little guy.
Hell yeah. Thank you.
Hi.